Welcome, I'm Scott Johnson from Suncoast Changer Service, and we're here today to introduce you to an exciting new logic control board that we've developed to improve the operation of most American change machines. What we have here is an American change machine with two coin hoppers and one bill acceptor. As you can see, it works pretty much as you would expect. What's different here is that we're using our new Genesis 3 control board to power this machine. This Genesis 3 control board is an outgrowth of our successful Genesis kits for row and standard machines introduced more than 7 years ago. As you can see, our Genesis control board uses the original mounting studs to simply bolt straight into the machine. It can also accommodate both the older Universal Mark IV black hoppers or the newer American black-green hoppers that use the 12-pin connectors. You can have two of one, two of the other. You can mix and match. If you've only got one hopper in your machine, use whichever you have. It doesn't matter, it'll work with both. Next, let's take a closer look at the board itself and some of its improved features. Welcome back. Let's take a closer look at our new Genesis 3 control board and some of its details and great new operating features. This board is mounted on a demonstration stand, and it has buttons on the back side which simply allow me to simulate machine workings. Where can I use this new Genesis 3 control board? The Genesis 3 board can replace almost all of American's current or previous control boards. We can replace the very early mechanical counter boards. If changing from this board, the power connection and the hopper harness connections will be the same. We will have to supply a new harness for the bill acceptor, and you can modify your original out-of-order harness to work on the new board. We can replace most of the common red display boards for one bill acceptor and either one or two hoppers. If changing from these red display boards, all of the harness connections should be direct carryovers. We can also replace the newer green display control boards. If changing from one of these newer green display boards, the power and the out-of-order harnesses will be direct carryover. A new harness will need to be supplied for the bill acceptor, either 24 volt or 110 volt, and the coin hopper harness must use the larger 12-pin connector. If your machine has the black and green American hoppers in it, it probably has a Y harness such as this. And with your American board, you're using this smaller connector. You'll need to dig out this larger 12-pin connector because that's what we'll be using. Also, in the case of the green board, we'll be using our secondary mounting holes because the spacing is different. What are the feature benefits of the Genesis 3 control board, and why do I want this new board? Error messages will be shown in simple English on the display. There's a reset button for dealing with error messages. We have a resettable input counter in addition to the permanent counter that other boards have. There's anti-jackpotting protection built into the control board to limit erroneous extra hopper payouts. User set limits for quantity of bills accepted, which would be an anti-stringing measure. And the Genesis 3 board allows for the proper operation of the MEI enhanced security if you have an MEI acceptor and are trying to use it. Newer ACC uniboards that we've tested will not operate properly with that MEI function. We also have moved the on and off switch over to the left side of the board so that you can really see it when the board is on the left side wall of the cabinet. Other benefits of the Genesis 3 controller. We can replace any single bill acceptor original board. We use reliable pulse operation. No more validator com fails or hopper com fail error messages. Harnesses are available for either 110 volt or 24 volt bill acceptor operation. Use MDB-only bill acceptors with an additional MDB converter. We've built in a 15-second hopper timeout feature. If the hopper is running for 15 seconds without coins coming out, hoppers will be shut off to save hopper damage. This might happen if coins are totally jammed inside the hopper, or because the hopper is really empty and you're getting a false full signal because some straggler coins are stuck up on the sensor plates. Bring various older styles of ACC boards up to a common, modern, improved platform. Now let's take a closer look at the new control board. When the machine is in its idle mode, the top line is the number of total bills that have been accepted by the machine throughout its entire life. This is a permanent number and you cannot control it. The lower number, labeled cycle, is the number of dollars that have come in during your current audit cycle. That number you can change and zero back whenever you audit the machine. Let's take a look at a couple of simple errors. Here I'm going to simulate a hopper exit window blocked, which is a pretty common error. So you've got your out of order message, the description of what it is. The machine out of order light will be on. Once you've solved the problem, simply hitting the reset switch will bring the machine, your out of order light went off, will bring the machine back online. You don't have to cycle the board on and off. Let's create an empty situation where both hoppers have gone empty. Out of order, all hoppers out of order lights on. Once we filled the machine up again and are ready to go, we can simply reset and we're on our way. One of the new features is that our Genesis 3 control board is programmed to acknowledge dollar bills of 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. Any other incoming signals will be considered errors. So I'm going to demonstrate a signal of 3 coming in from the bill acceptor, which probably would indicate a problem with a wiring harness. Okay, so the machine knew this wasn't something it is programmed to recognize, so you've got a bill acceptor count is wrong and I'm going out of order. Let's reset it. Notice that our numbers have not changed. They were what they had been prior to that. So the fact that it didn't recognize that erroneous message, it just didn't even add it into the audits. Now, how do we reset this bottom number? Okay, well, let's do a legitimate plain $1 bill first off. So our 32 is changed to 3 and our cycle count of 1 changed to 2. And now we've paid out our dollar and we're ready for the next one. Okay, so let's assume it's at the end of the week and you want to reset your cycle count. Okay, so we're at 33 and 2. We're going to go the next button to get into the first layer of programming, and yes, we want to reset the cycle count. So it does it automatically. Our 33 stayed the same. We haven't tampered with that number, and our cycle is now reset to 0 for the start of a fresh week or day or however often you audit your machines. Now let's talk about the coin payout programming. This board can allow you to pay out any combination of coins or tokens that you could reasonably want. The default programming is set for quarter payouts, 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, and $20 bills. The board is capable of also dealing with 50s and 100s. You can pay out one style of coin, If you have multiple hoppers, you can pay out two styles of coins. You could mix dollar coins and quarters, or quarters and tokens, or whatever. You're going to determine hopper by hopper what gets paid out of each hopper for each denomination of bill. Okay, to get to this feature, we're going to go next button to get into the first layer of programming, which is where we were before. No, we don't want to tamper with the cycle count at this point, so we're going to keep going to this next layer. Coin setup, yes, that's what we want to do. And currently the board is in the default all coins equal mode. So we're going to go to coins different, yes. And let's say we're going to use a dollar coin in the left hopper and quarters in the right hopper. So for $1 in, I would want to pay $0 coins out, and I'm going to want to pay out 4 quarters. So I'm going to use the select button to move between these zeros. Right now the computer is on the far left. So that gets me 1 over, 2 over. This gets me to the far right 0, and I want to make that, using the scroll button, I want to make that 4 quarters for $1. Okay, so we're happy with that. I want to go to the next bill. Whatever I want to set in for a $2 bill, you'd probably go 0 and 8 would be my guess. Let's go to a 5. For a 5, let's set it to $1 coin. So I need to move over and then go to 1 for a $1 coin, in which case I'd go 16 quarters. Let's see, and I missed where I was at. I'm here. I've got to scroll 2, 3. Okay, 16. So I'd get $1 coin and 16 quarters for a 5. The other bills that you're taking, you'd have to make entries for all of them. I'm not going to bother to do it at this point. And we're back to idle. So at this point, if I do a $1 bill in, the machine is going to pay out, I know you can't see this, but it's going to pay out 4 quarters. And that's as simple as it gets for changing your payouts to whatever combination you want to do. Now let's talk about our new feature called pay limits. This would be an important weapon in the fight against stringing. We can set the machine to count the number of bills of any given denomination. How many bills do you want to be allowed to be accepted within a short period of time? If that limit is set, then the machine will shut off for a period of time which you determine. We can monitor each bill denomination separately, or we can count the total amount of dollars accepted. We can do all of this at the same time. Whatever limit gets hit first would be the determining factor. So let's go into the program. We'll go into the different levels using the next button. No, we don't want to change the cycle count. No, we're not doing coin setup. We want to set the bill limits, yes. Okay, so in this case, I want to count bills within an example of 2 minutes. So I'm going to move over, and I'm going to go 2 minutes is going to be our counting time, okay? And how long do we want the machine to go out for once something is triggered? Let's put 2 minutes in there also. Okay, we're gonna use the rather unrealistic example of we're going to allow 2 $1 bills to be accepted within that 2 minute window. We're also going to look at 3 $5 bills gets accepted. Now you could be populating all these different bill denominations if you wanted to. We're also going to look at an all dollar limit. let's put in 6 there. Okay, and we're back to go. So we take in a $1 bill, and it pays out. Right beside it, another dollar bill comes in. It will get paid out, but as soon as the machine acknowledges that that bill has come in, it's going to go out of order. Okay, so right now, you basically have an out of order message here on your screen. $1 pay limit was hit, and so far, we've counted 0 of the 2-minute shutdown time. As time progresses, this will eventually change to 1 of 2, and then eventually it will go to 2 of 2, at which point the machine will come back online and the out of order light will go out. Typically, the settings I'm using here are simply for easy demonstration. Typically, you would use these settings only with larger bills, say $20, maybe $10, to limit large, quick payouts that would happen if somebody was trying to string your machine, or if maybe one of your neighbors was trying to use you as a bank. Okay, so we've used up a minute of this time already, and if you were there at the machine, you could see that progress was being made. If you were testing the machine and you had the machine open and you triggered this scenario, by using the reset button, you could zero it out and bring the machine back online immediately. So we're just going to wait for this to run out its full time period and come back online then. Okay, there we go. So hopefully whoever was being the bulk user is gone. At the same time, okay, here we go again. Here's a $1 come in. Notice all our counts went up. There's a $5. It will pay out. Now that triggered because we had that 6 for all bills programmed in. So the 1 plus the 5 gave us the 6, even though we didn't hit the limit on either of the individual denominations. And we've seen it run out its time already, so we're just going to reset this and come back online. Let's summarize the benefits of this replacement Genesis 3 control board. First off, we have error messages in English. You have a simple reset button. We have both permanent and resettable bill counters for ease of use. We can accommodate either a 110 volt or a 24 volt bill acceptor with the appropriate harness. There's an on and off switch that you can actually find when it's mounted in the cabinet. We can use an MDB-Only bill acceptor with an additional converter. Security issues. We have anti-jackpotting built in. We have a 15-second hopper timeout limit built in to limit wear and tear on hoppers. We can set the number of bills that are allowed into the machine in short time periods to combat stringing. And we can properly allow for the use of MEI's enhanced security software if that's the acceptor you have. So why does any of this matter? It allows you to manage your changers better and to better protect your money on a daily basis. Thank you for visiting us today.